The Siberian Tundra is on track to be entirely vanishing off the face of the planet. This is by Stephanie Pappas Live Science on Science Alert. The Siberian Tundra could disappear by the year 2500 unless greenhouse gas emissions are dramatically reduced. Even in the best case scenarios, 2/3 of this landscape, defined by its short growing season and cover of grasses, moss, shrubs, and lichens, could vanish, leaving behind two fragments separated by 1,553 miles or 2,500 kilometers, scientists recently predicted. And as the tundra's permafrost cover melts away, it could reveal vast quantities of stored greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. It could release it, potentially accelerating warming worldwide. Now, this was stunning for us to see how quickly the tundra will be turning over to forest, said ecologist and forest modeler Stefan Kraus of the Alfred Wegener Institute, AWI, Helmholtz Center for Polar and Marine Research in Bremerhaven, Germany. The loss of tundra will not only be a blow for biodiversity and human culture, but might also worsen Arctic warming. This is what Kraus told Live Science. Warming in the Arctic has advanced rapidly in recent decades, about twice as fast as warming in the rest of the globe. Between 1960 and the year 2019, air temperatures rose nearly 7.8 degrees Fahrenheit, that's over 4 degrees Celsius, across the Arctic region, according to National Snow and Ice Data Center, NSIDC. This heat reduced sea ice cover and is affecting the Arctic's land as well. One of those implications is the northward march of Siberian large forests. How quickly these forests will replace the grassy, shrubby tundra ecosystem is unknown. Tree line changes in response to climate are not consistent around the globe, Crew says. In some areas, tree lines have advanced northward. In others, they've remained static. In still others, they've even retreated. Previous research in the Siberian tundra focused on small areas, but there can be a lot of variability from location to location. Now, Cruz and his colleagues, AWI professor Ulrich Herzschutt, have created a new computer model that evaluates the full 2,485 mile long, 4,000 kilometer long expanse of the Siberian tundra. The model takes into account the life cycles of individual trees, from how far they can disperse their seeds, to how well they grow when faced with competition from other trees, to growth rates based on temperature, precipitation, and depth of the summer thaw of permafrost that occurs in tundra regions. The researchers found that once the trees start marching northward in response to warming, they do so quickly, and they are not likely to retreat again should temperatures cool, under a scenario in which carbon emissions are reduced to zero by the year 2100, and global temperature rise remains below 3.6 degrees or 2 degrees Celsius. Only 32.7% of today's tundra would remain by the year 2500. This fraction could be split into two mini tundras, one in Chukotka in the far east and one in the Taimyr Peninsula in the far north. Cascade of change. But even that bleak scenario may be impossible to achieve without very quick action, meaning that the outcome of the tundra could easily be far worse. In an intermediate scenario in which carbon emissions don't start declining by the year 2050 and are cut by half by 2100, large trees could cover all but 5.7% of the current tundra by the year 2500, essentially annihilating the ecosystem. In the warmer global scenarios, trees could spread northward by as much as 18.6 miles or 30 kilometers. The researchers responded on May 24th in the journal eLife. When Cruz and Herzschutt tested that what would happen if temperatures cooled after the tundra became a forest, they found that the tree line did not retreat as quickly as it had advanced. Once mature trees are established, they can withstand a lot, Cruz said. The study did not directly model what might happen to tundra dwellers, such as reindeer, Cruz said, but splitting populations into two regions where they are cut off from interbreeding is typically bad for the survival of species. Reindeer, known as caribou in North America, migrate from north to south and back again throughout the year, and it's not known how forest expansion may affect their migration and life cycles. The impacts are likely to be felt by humans too. Indigenous cultures such as the Nenets, people of northwestern Siberia, both herd and hunt reindeer. The culture is dependent partly on tundra, Cruz said. If this gets lost, it will be a major loss for humanity. How the loss of the tundra may affect future warming is also uncertain, but covering the mossy, scrubby grasslands with tall trees could make matters worse. Snow-covered tundra is lighter in color than large forest canopy. The forest will therefore absorb more heat than the tundra does, potentially making the Arctic hotter faster, Cruz said. This additional heat could hasten and deepen the melting of the tundra's permafrost, which stores massive amounts of greenhouse gases, up to 1,400 gigatons globally, according to NSIDC. Permafrost thaw could release these gases as well as long-frozen microbes and even viruses. Change will likely go beyond the replacement of tundra with large trees, Cruz added. As warmer summers thaw deeper and deeper layers of permafrost, evergreen trees can then move in as well. These trees remain leaf-covered year-round, potentially absorbing even more heat than larch do. The southern side of the taiga, where temperatures are already higher than in the north, will likely heat up even more, leading to droughts and wildfires, which release still more carbon into the atmosphere. The findings present compelling reason to push for the ambitious reduction of fossil fuel emissions. The model used in the study, however, can also be used to identify the most resilient portions of the Siberian Tundra, Cruz said. These resilient areas could be prioritized for conservation investments. He said the best option would be to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions to reduce the pressure, but nevertheless, if we can't do that, one needs to do species conservation. This was originally published by Live Science and it's here on Science Alert. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.